Among all the terrific teams you've played on in your career, where do you rank those '06 Mets?
Yeah, I mean, that was a great team. The thing about the '06 Mets, though, is I think our pitching kind of ran out of gas at the end. Our starting, once we lost El Duque, I don't even think he pitched in the postseason. He was getting ready to pitch and messed up some part of his leg. Pedro was like up and down in terms of injuries, and Glavine was, in the last couple years of his career, they're still all affected, but it wasn't like, having Pedro in '03 or '04 and having Glavine in the late '90s.
Right.
So we really relied in the postseason on Oliver Perez and John Maine, and they did great. And our bullpen was strong. But I think the weakest area we had at that point in the season was our starting pitching, because there was some injuries and guys were pretty fatigued.
That team just seemed destined to win it all. Being the 20-year anniversary of '86, celebrations happening all season long. I mean, you must have gotten sick of seeing Mookie Wilson hanging around.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. That was a great team. I think there's two things that made that team really good. One was the bullpen. If I was building a team, I'd start with the bullpen. I think shorten the game to, six innings. Like a lot of teams do that now, right? And I think the other area that made that team really good was the left side of the infield, having two young, energetic superstars, just coming into their own, David Wright and Jose Reyes. And then, there was a lot of good veteran guys around, guys like Beltran and Delgado and LaDuca. But I think it was having that youthful energy. It was a good mix. And then having that rock solid bullpen.
Even that NLCS, Shawn, it's just coming to Game 7. It just felt like the momentum was in our favor. And then Endy makes that catch. Mm-hmm. I mean, is that the greatest catch you've ever seen in person in your life?
I mean, it was, definitely in terms of the magnitude of, the stakes and all that. It was definitely the most exciting catch. And it meant more than any other catch I think I'd ever been a part of in a game. I played with some Gold Glove outfielders. I won one Gold Glove, but I kind of got lucky that year and just happened to not make too many errors. But Chavez is the best defensive outfielder I played with, and I played with some great ones. I played with Devon White in Toronto and LA. I played with Marquise Grissom. I'm sure there's some others in there, but Chavez he had a cannon for an arm, and he just covered so much ground. And he was just quiet, didn't say much. But he was, kind of a role player, so he doesn't get the kind of credit I think that he deserves.
To me, it was like David Tyree's helmet catch in the Super Bowl. You making that catch. Had the Mets won, that would be. It's still celebrated as an amazing catch, but it would be up there with Willie Mays. And then Carlos Beltran, man, that at bat against Wainwright, it's burned into my retina. On my dying breath, it'll flash before my eyes. Carlos Beltran, the Cardinals killer, best postseason player of all time. Bases loaded, 2 outs, bottom of the ninth at Shea. But he must have stepped in a pool of liquid nitrogen on the way to the batter's box.
I mean, it's tough when you make that final out, and that's what people remember. And there's a lot of plays that could have gone either way. I had a couple moments that could have led to wins if I would have. There's one at bat I had in St. Louis where I lined out to center. I hit a decent line drive with the guy in third, and we ended up losing that game. I look back on that. I should have caught a ball that Spezio hit in Game 2. So I mean, you could go back almost each game that you lose and look at one or two moments. And I don't think that was the moment that cost us that game. You got to also say Suppan threw a great game, and he's a tough guy to face in that situation because he doesn't give you a lot of stuff over the heart of the plate. He kind of throws backdoor curveballs and little cutters in. So he doesn't give you a big opportunity to hit the ball out of the ballpark. It's cold weather, so it's a little tougher. It's just as well. Beltran was one of our studs of the team that year and many years, and he just didn't get a good pitch to hit. And the fact that he took the third strike, I think, sort of makes it a little harder for the Mets fans to swallow, but that's baseball.
That's baseball. And now we're hearing about all this cheating stuff now with Carlos supposedly being the ringleader. It's like he couldn't have started this sign stealing a little earlier in his career. I mean, it never occurred to you to bang on a trash can for him, Shawn? Come on.
No, I mean, definitely, I think it occurred to people. It's just people didn't do it. I mean, everyone always wants to know what pitches are coming. So, I mean, it got a little out of hand, I think, in 17 and 18. And, it's too bad that it happened. It's too bad that, Carlos was a part of that and Alex Cora was a part of that. Those are two former teammates who were really good baseball minds and good guys. So it's too bad it happened. I feel bad for the Dodgers as a former Dodger that they were on the wrong end of both of those. But I think it's been handled well with baseball, and time to move on.
Isolate Night with Scott Rogowski, live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern.